Today I'm going to teach you how to build AI agent large language model support tickets a little bit later in the video, but it was important to understand what are agentic systems and to visually see it for yourself. The people that make up this, it's true. On the cloud, you're going to be at a screen something like this, except you probably won't have all of these different automations in here. This is basically like your home page, and here you can see workflows, credentials, and executions. Credentials are things like your API keys and your account access that you give within your automations, and executions are actually the running of your agentic workflow. So whenever you hit run, it tracks it as an execution or test step, or whenever it runs through, then it's an execution. You have your domain, which is the workspace that gets created for you upon creating an account, and then your workflows over here are organized into projects over on the left. So I could select into specific projects, and I have different workflows, different automations within each one. As you can, you are going to be a big project. Now that you're in your project workflow, what you want to do is understand the node types before building AI agents within N8N. N8N comes with different node types within your agent. You can just make this publicly available, and we can have this canvas. And now we have our first node in here, which is great. We have our first trigger. And this lightning bolt right here is signaling, hey, this is what's starting the automation. And what you'll notice is at the bottom of the screen, we have a chat button. So when we select this chat button, we can type in anything we want, which is cool. And this is how we're going to be communicating with our automation for the sake of this tutorial. This is actually a very useful node to have. Let's add our next node in here. And in order to get this started, I like just adding the AI agent node. So I'm going to open the nodes panel, and then I'm going to go to advanced AI, and then I'm going to add the AI agent. And this select a model in here, and they've got all of the OpenAI models, which is very cool. I'll just do GPT-4o, and then I'll click out of here. But there's so many different models you can select. It doesn't just have to be this ChatGPT model. You can select Anthropic, AWS Bedrock, Grok, Llama. There's so many different things in here you can select from, but I like keeping it simple. I've already got my API key connected with OpenAI, and I'm just going to power it with a chat model. Now, chances are you might not have your credentials connected to ChatGPT in order to do this, or whatever application you want to use in order to power your AI agent. So if that's the case, what you can do is go to platform.openai.com, and then you can go to the settings button right here. And within the settings button, what you can do is go to API keys. And this is the screen that you want to create a new secret key. And once you create a secret key, it'll take about 30 seconds to create one. And once you do, you copy your secret key, you come back here, and you have the ability to create a new credential and just paste it in right here. And then you're all hooked up. It's that simple. You can load up $5 to $10 in your OpenAI account, and it will be plenty for testing purposes. So once you have a model connected to your agent and you have a way to start your automation, for example, right now we're chatting with this agent in order to begin this automation process. What you can do is you could just talk to this thing like it's ChatGPT or any other large language model. So I could ask it, hey, how are you? And then I could send it off. And now it's just using ChatGPT, and it brings me a response. It says, hello, I'm here and ready to help. How can I assist you today? But the problem is right now, this AI so I can go back to Canvas now to have. Your secret key, you come back. For example, without memory, things like this happen. I can say, continue the sequence for me each time I reply. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll put ... So it should say 4, 5, 6. So if I send that off, what it will do is say 4, and maybe it's just going to go one number at a time. So if I copy it and I go 5, what it's going to do is not understand the previous context. So it's not going to keep on going. It just says my message looks like it's incomplete. But if it had memory, it would be able to do this. So we can add temporary memory to this chat by selecting this memory plus icon and then selecting window buffer memory. This stores memory in N8N. There's no credentials required. It's the easiest way to go. So here's your context window length, and this is how many past interactions the model receives as context. For now, it's connected from the chat node, so it already has our session key stored from this. Usually with this memory, what you need to do is you need to map a specific ID. So if you connect something like Telegram, if you connect something like WhatsApp, you need to store that chat ID right here so it knows where to pull context from. But right now, it's mapped it for us from this node right here. That's great. So now if we try this again and we say continue the sequence for me each time I reply, remember we have a window buffer memory of 5 now. I can save this, and then if I paste that in here and we go through this, it will say 4. And when I type out 5 this time, it will keep on going in the sequence because it remembers the past conversations because we gave it that context window to do so. So now we can have full conversations with it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what window buffer memory does. And you don't just have to use it with this chat node, but you could use it with other nodes as well. Now that we know we can chat with this thing, how about we start making it a little bit more powerful? Let's add our first tool to this AI agent. Now, when we add a tool, the AI agent is going to be able to decide, should I use this tool or not, depending on what I say from the messages. So whatever inventory, where we have all of our grocery items, our household items, all in a list with an order threshold so that we know when we need to order more. I'm going to select Airtable, and what we can actually do is we can search Airtable databases within this tool right here. So if I click into this tool, as you can see, we have a lot of different options here that we are going to get to, but I want to point your attention to operation because within this Airtable tool, we can do so many cool things. We can create records, we can update them, delete records, get records, and we can search records, which is what we want to do right now. So I'm going to select search, and now this will be ready, but first I want to show you the database. So here's my home inventory database. Now, if you're not familiar with Airtable, it's like Google Sheets on steroids. You can run automations very easily. You have the ability to view your data in multiple different ways. It's like if Google Sheets and Notion had a baby, you would get Airtable here. But as you can see, I just have some item names like toilet paper, shampoo, hand soap, toothpaste, trash bags, Ziploc bags. So it's basically like an entire home inventory. We even have some food items down here. We have the current quantity, like how much we currently have of that specific item. And then we have inventory threshold. So when it gets to that level, we know that we need to order more. So if we get only 4 sodas left, let's just say, then I guess we need to order more soda. Or if trash bags, if we get down to 3 boxes of trash bags left, then we need to order more in order to increase that quantity. So this is our database that we're going to be giving NAN access to so that this AI agent, when we're talking with it, can actually use this tool. So what we can do is within Airtable here, we can just go down and hit create new credential. And here we need to give an access token with the following scopes. In the Airtable Builder Hub, you can create personal access tokens. I'm going to hit create new token. And I'm going to give it a name of test, home, inventory. I'm going to add some scopes. And this is basically just saying, what can NAN be allowed to do? Well, we want it to be able to read the data. We want it to be able to write in the data. And we also want it to be able to read our database structure and see things like table names and field types. So we can select schema basis read. And now we need to give it access to that home inventory base. We need to give it access to this. So we can hit add a base and then scroll down to home inventory test and select that. And now we can hit create token. We're then given a secret access token that you will only be able to see once. So when you hit copy, make sure you store this in a safe place where nobody else can see it. And now we can go connect our credential back in NAN. So I can paste in that access token, and then we can hit save. And now our Airtable connection has been tested successfully. So now it has access with those parameters to our Airtable database. Beautiful. So now we need to give a tool description. This is going to describe what this tool is. Now, anytime you add a new tool to your AI agent, you want to let your AI agent know, hey, this is what's going on with this tool. And that's what the tool description is for. So we're going to set this manually, and we can just say searches, home, inventory, in Airtable. So we're kind of giving it these words like home inventory, Airtable, so that it knows well. So ask it to create me a business plan. I could do whatever, but make butter. Getting close. So this is great. We now are searching our own database, having a conversation about it. How about we add another tool? Let's get into adding a tool where we can actually update these records. Right now, all we can do is search our database. What happens if we wanted to update something? It does.